Well, Mecca and Dave, as you can imagine, it's been a very emotional day for business owners here. Some of them are still out cleaning up at this hour, as you can see behind me here. Many of them tell me when they walked into their stores this morning, they didn't know where to even start. But luckily, they didn't have to think about it long, because volunteer after volunteer, folks they had never met before started showing up with shovels in hand, ready to help them out. Last night, the patio of Adams Mountain Cafe was transformed into a black sea as floodwater rushed over the retaining walls. Now today, instead of preparing food, employees work to scrape the layers of mud from their kitchen floor.
When you get in here and you see the damage to these beautiful buildings, it's really heartbreaking.
Hundreds of volunteers showed up with shovels in hand, sweeping and power washing the mud away as they help to try and get this business back up and running.
That's the best part of today. Employees are here cleaning up.
And as they filled wheelbarrow loads full of that muck, one woman was busy filling stomachs with her homemade pancakes.
I've been the pancake lady, so I am not muddy.
Despite the cleanup progress made today, businesses and homeowners are still on edge.
It's still a scary time, to be honest. We know that anytime an inch of rain falls on that burn scar, this could happen all over again.
But if it does, this community will not crumble. They say they'll continue to rally together through every storm.
I think this is kind of what the heart and soul of Manitou is the community coming together and working to make it right again.
And we heard from the mayor of Manitou Springs earlier today. He wanted to emphasize the fact that Manitou Springs is open for business. They've got 90% of their stores up and running, and he wants to encourage folks to still come down and support the local economy as they continue to rebuild and clean up after this devastating flood. Very difficult time for the family. 19-year-old Joshua Walker lives with his grandparents, and even though they found him, the heartache is far from over. They say doctors told them they're pumping synthetic marijuana from his body. Joshua Walker left his grandparents' home last Thursday and never returned.
Started getting worried.
It was scary. I thought he was dead.
As the days passed, concern grew. His grandfather, Kendall, called police. The family also posted pictures of him all around town. Then, a startling discovery.
My son was downtown putting up flyers. And I guess somebody saw him and said, there's a flyer like that, or a picture of him down in the soup kitchen.
Kendall says Memorial Hospital made a John Doe poster and hung it in the soup kitchen. The Walker family rushed over to the hospital, but their hearts sank when they learned their grandson was in a coma. They say doctors told them he had taken the drug Spice. Kendall doesn't want any other family to go through this.
Talk to your kids about Spice. It'll kill them.
And the grandparents tell me that doctors may be able to remove Joshua's breathing tube tomorrow. The Venetian Village neighborhood is typically alive with the sound of children playing, but the recent attempted kidnapping cases have moms like Lisa Swanson on edge.
It's an instant fear. It's an instant panic because I've had those nightmares. I've had those moments of, oh my God, where's my son?
And farther down the street, neighbors are just as protective.
So I've got 3 grandchildren that live at my house, and I'm afraid to let them outside.
But Swanson says she's had enough. With a Sharpie and poster board in hand, she was compelled to take action. She created a message to anyone even thinking about harming a child.
Not here. Not here. They're not going to get away with it here. We will watch.
And the haunting eyes on this skull are meant to illustrate that very message.
We'll take pictures. We'll take videos. We will have everything ready. It won't happen here.
Swanson hopes her project will catch on in other neighborhoods too. Joined right now by Rose's mother, Chris. And Chris, thank you so much. We understand it's a very difficult time right now as we search for your daughter, Rose. This is a picture of her. Talk me through, she was out for a walk when the storm rolled in. Talk about that area where she was and what you last heard.
She was, my understanding is she was around Radiant Church area on one of the trails. It started raining and hailing, and I had called her and asked her if she wanted me to pick her up, and she didn't know exactly where she was at that time. And she was going to take cover under a bridge. And we have not heard from her since. We've tried to call her phone. Her phone has since, I think, run out of battery.
Okay. And you went to that area. You went to the bridge. What did you see anything when you guys were looking out there?
We haven't seen her anyplace, no.
Okay.
Nobody else has seen her.
Okay. And I was at Radiant Church. There are several police officers out there starting to, canvass the area and things like that. Have you heard anything from them as far as any progress or any clues?
No. Last I heard, they had the fire department out searching south of there.
Okay. And describe Rose for us. I mean, we've been showing this picture to our viewers.
Rose she's 5'4", she's 120 pounds. She has shorter hair than she does in this picture. She's got light brown hair. She was wearing a gray shirt, khaki pants, and black Converse high-top tennis shoes.
And I just, minutes ago, you were on the phone. You were talking to area hospitals, trying to get answers that way. Was there any progress made?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. What's the biggest message that you want folks to know tonight?
Just to keep a lookout for her. I don't know if she's hurt. I don't know if she had tried to find shelter someplace, and I don't know. Just to contact the police if you know anything.